I wasn't going to talk about this at first, but I guess I can. This is about Diannah Carrol. This is a woman who, let me go ahead and explain it. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys. As you know, legendary actress, singer, entertainer Diannah Carrol, who was best known, at least for a lot of you baby boomers from my era, from the 1960s, as television's Julia, passed away just yesterday at the age of 84. I remember watching that show. She was really the first black woman literally the first black woman on television that I can recall ever recognizing on television ever, other than the black woman you play on Mannix. If you baby boomers know, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, but pretty much her. That was one of my favorite shows, Julia, as a little boy. I mean, it was the first black show that I ever remember watching. Was Julia, ever. Throughout my entire life, that was the very first one I identified with. Her son, the kid that played her son, was roughly, he might have been just a little bit older than I was, but not by much. I was 4 when the series came out in '68, so, but I remember it fairly well. It was, matter of fact, remember it very well. Matter of fact, but it was an extremely popular show at the time, and there was the first program that showed a black woman on television other than just doing the mammy work, what I call, of a maid. Although she was a nurse, you could kind of clarify that to some degree, but she wasn't. That's not a mammy role. A nurse is actually runner up to a doctor, so I don't really classify that as really being a mammy role. But it was a very positive show. Yes, she was a single black mother. But of course, the powers that be on the network that presented the show, NBC, wrote it into the script like that. Or somebody did. And they accepted it. She had to be a single mother. Okay? By script. The scenario was that her husband was killed in the war in Vietnam, because that's around the time it happened. That's around the time the series happened, and of course they make it look like, oh, well, he's not around, so we'll just make you the focal point, being the strong black woman. See, that's when they started that women's lib stuff, right around that time frame. You know, you don't need no man, and that was one of, well, later on found out why I thought the show was odd with the kid not having a father. My father during that time period was very much in my life, and always been throughout my childhood and most of my adulthood. So, and I could identify who my dad was in my life, but when I watched Mark on TV without a father, I kind of like, man, I kind of feel bad for him as a child. I said, my dad's with me, my mom's with me. And I just wondered why his father wasn't with him. I didn't realize till a few years later he wasn't with him because it was never. Because he died in the war. They never really talked about that on the series I can recall, but that's what happened. But of course, the powers that be wanted to show you a narrative that we didn't really need to talk about. You never saw a picture of him on the show either, by the way, ever. Mark never. As a matter of fact, I don't ever remember Mark talking about his father on the show the whole entire time. Now that goes to show you, even then, they wanted the focal point to be on the black woman, as though the father was never in his life or her life. See what I'm saying? There's a narrative that was portrayed. My understanding is she didn't really date a lot of black men. The only black man that I know that I could recall that she actually was really involved with was actress Sidney Poitier, who she had a long-running affair with from 1959 to 1965 or 1966. It was a very long time, several years. And they were both married around the same time. The scoop that I got, she was married to around 1963, and then she got a divorce. Sidney Poitier, I heard, was supposed to get divorced around the same time she was supposed to, and he stayed married for a few more years with his wife, and kept the affair going with Diannah Carrol at the same time. So they both were playing each other, put it like that. But she later on had an affair with when she was married to another white guy, she dated David Frost. Well, I thought they were married, but they weren't. They were dating. And she got married again another 1 or 2 more times. But that was pretty much it. I didn't know she was married to, I read in the bio of her that she was married to Vic Damone. I did not know that. That's crazy. Anyway, so, just, which means goes to show you that she was, heavily into the white boys for the most part, But that's another whole story. But she also played a character on Dynasty. I've seen her on Dynasty. She was on there for a number of years. But by that time, I wasn't really into Dynasty that much by the time she was on there. I remember watching on there a couple of episodes, but I just wasn't into it after that. Got a little the show had got a little cornbally for me by that time anyway. But nevertheless, just wanted to give a shout out to her family and to the memory of Diannah Carrol. Rest in peace. DJ Wolf out.